go live now. Okay, let's see if we have traction. Alright, we went live. Okay, alright, today we're gonna go over chapter 5 and chapter 6. OK， 今天我们会讲章子5跟章子6。OK， 章子5的话，我们会讲这个协议。OK， chapter 5 we talk about contracts。OK， 章子6的话，我们讲房东跟房客。Okay, chapter 6 we talk about chapter 6 we talk about landlord and tenants. Okay. Alright, so contracts. Real estate is all about contracts. Okay, 你做房地产的话，你免不掉这个协议的。OK， 买卖，租。等等的 ，OK， 都要写下来 ，OK， 这个协议。So in real estate, you cannot get away from doing contracts because everything is written down. Okay, if you don't write it down, then verbal agreement does not cut it in real estate. Okay, you have to have it written down. So any default, any violation of the terms, right? The court of law could look at a stack of papers and see who's right, who's wrong. Okay. All right. So we have contract to protect both parties. Okay, and the third parties involved. All right. So we certainly could have that. Okay. All right. So let's start. Okay, contract in general. Okay, let's see how big or how long this chapter is. Okay, I'm having problems controlling the panel. This thing went crazy here. Okay, I may need to restart this. Okay, 1 second. I'll just restart this. I'll just relaunch it. Okay. Okay, that's good. Just leave it as that. Alright, so we're going to talk about contracts today. Alright, what is a contract? Contract is basically an agreement, okay, to do something or not to do something, right? To do or not to do a certain act or service. So we have different classes of contracts. We have express contract. What does that mean? That means you express it out, okay? Say it out, okay? It could be oral, it could be written, okay? When you express, okay? 你表达出来的这个协议 ，OK？ 这是你写出来，你转化出来都可以的 ，OK？ Implied contract is that you don't need to say anything, okay? By your action and your conduct, it's understood, right? It's like you have the sixth sense, right? It's customary to do that or to do this, okay? 这种协议的话不需要表达出来的 ，OK？ 你就知道怎么去做了 ，OK？ 这是一个规矩啊等等的 ，OK？Not used in real estate，OK？ 在房产我们不可以用这种 implied contract，OK？ 所以房地产的协议没有 implied contract。Okay，bilateral contract is made by one party in exchange for a promise of another party. So two parties is involved. Okay， 两方的协议 ，OK， 一方做一样东西给另外一方。Okay，unilateral contract is a promise to act made by only one party. 只有一方做东西。Okay， 这个是 unilateral， 单方的这个协议。A valid contract 有效的协议 ，OK， is that is binding and enforceable in court of law. OK， 有效的协议就是什么意思呢？它有有力量 ，OK， 在法庭上面，法官可以看到这个协议，就可以判断 ，OK。Voidable contract。Valid on its face value, but one or more parties may reject it. OK， 可以取消的 contract 叫 voidable contract， 一方可以取消。Void contract is no contract. OK， the contract cannot do anything. OK， 无效的 contract 就是 void contract。Unenforceable contract cannot be proved or sued upon. Okay, the judge cannot use your contract in a court of law. Okay, this is not a valid contract. Someone did not sign it, or they didn't spell out the things properly. Okay, unenforceable 这个意思是法庭这方面没办法去判断。Okay， 不可以通过法律来走了 ，OK， 所以可能那个协议是无效的 ，OK， 模糊 ，OK， 两方写的条件不清楚等等 ，OK。Let's go into each one separately, okay? Express contract 表达出来的。So it is contract expressed with words rather than oral.Either oral or written, right? But it's preferred for the following, okay? But in real estate, it's always written. 你做房地产的话 ，right， 必须要写下来的，这是协议。怎么写？是什么协议呢 ？OK，listing， 帮人家卖房子 ，OK，purchase contract， help people to buy houses， OK， 帮人去买房子 ，and leases， OK， 租约。Implied contract is created when an agreement is made by acts and conduct rather than words. So, implied contract is not written. Okay, not written at all. It's not even expressed, right? 它没有表达出来的。Okay， 没有不单是没有写下来 ，OK， 它没有表达出来。Bilateral contract is One party makes a promise in exchange for the promise of another party. Okay, party A give money, the other party give a house. Okay, and they exchange. Okay, unilateral contract. One party makes a promise for act of another. Okay, so basically, okay, you're doing something, okay, and give to the other. Okay, or money go one way. Okay, one party makes the action, the other party doesn't do anything. Okay, 另外一方不做事的。Okay， 只有一方做事。Unilateral contract. So let's go over this again. Okay, valid is a contract that is binding and enforceable. 有效的，它可以在法庭上面，法官可以判断。Okay, voidable is it could be rejected at the option of a party. 一方、两方可以取消的，叫 voidable. Void, if it's void, no contract exists, therefore no rights are unenforceable. 无效的 contract 叫 void contract. Unenforceable 就是管不住的这个协议。There's a valid contract for some reason cannot be enforced in court. Okay， 就是有效的协议，但是在法庭上面，这个法官看这个协议有问题 ，OK， 所以呢，他判断不了。Life of a contract， OK， 这个协议的寿命是什么呢 ？OK，First phase， right？You have to negotiate， right？ 第一步你要讨价还价 ，right？ 两方这边讨价还价。Number 2, not yet performed. They doing it, right? In the middle of doing it. Do it. Okay, 第二个栏的话 ，right， 就是他们有做啊 ，right， 没有完成，中途操作。Number 3, completion 完成了。Okay, so negotiation, they discuss, how much is the price, right? What terms, etc. Performance is time between you have a contract and time you have completed. Okay, that's called performance. Okay, 中途就是有协议了，大家签了，到你完成这段时间叫 performance， 有操作。Completed performance, the contract has been executed. Okay, 这个 phrase, the contract has been executed means what? That means it's done, stopped. Okay, whether it's completed or not, it's stopped. Okay, executed. So further vocabulary, executory. 刚才我讲的，这段话 ，right? The contract has been executed， 什么意思？这个协议完成了，不管它怎么完成 ，OK？ 取消也好，也是完成 ，OK？ 真的完成的话就完成 ，OK？Executory, a legal document, the provision of which yet to be completed, fulfilled. In the middle of doing something, right? Is executory. 中途操作 ，OK? Executed 就做完了 ，OK? It's done. A contract that has either been discharged or performed. Right? 取消还是做完了。When you say to execute, right, is to sign a contract. Did you execute the contract? In other words, did you sign the contract? Okay, 敲作就是去签字 ，right？ 你签字表示这个协议会有效了。Okay? Execution is the act of performing carry out the contract， 这是去敲作。Okay? So executory and execution is the same. Okay? To execute, right, is the execution, right, is the action, right? Executory is the adjective. It's describing, hey, they're doing it. Okay? 这个是中途操作，OK， 这个就是解释他们操作了，中途操作。Alright, let's go deeper, okay? Negotiation, okay? 讨价还价的时间段。It occurs before the contract has been struck, okay? 没有协议的 ，OK， 这个时间段。There's no contract, you're just negotiating, okay? So they're discussing, right? There's a possibility of contract. An offer is made, okay? So in real estate, that's when we put out the residential purchase agreement, right? From the buyer to the seller. Okay? An offer is made. There's no contract, right? Seller did not sign it yet. Okay? So possible additional offers and counter offer, right? So they go back and forth, right? Until they both sign, then you have a contract. Okay? 他来回 right? 讨价还价 right? 终于两方签了同意，你就有协议了。So an offer is accepted by all parties. Then a contract is created. Okay? 这个时候有这个协议了。Alright, not yet performed. That's the second phase, right? The contract is in midstream. Okay? So under the MLS, you're going to see you, right? Under contract. Okay? And they have another status called pending. Okay? Pending is in escrow already, moving through. Okay? And then obviously S is for sold. In the middle, you may have holding. Okay? A is for active. Okay? Obviously X is for expire, right? No, X is cancel, sorry. E is expire. Okay? 所以呢，这是字母这个 U 表示什么 ？OK， 已经有协议了 ，under contract。对 ，P 这是 pending，OK， 他们的中途作死了 ，OK， 是在 escrow 已经开了。H is for hold 住 ，OK， 等待。S for sold 卖掉了。X 什么意思？这是 expire 过期了。E 呢 ？E is for expire， OK， 过期了。X 是取消 ，sorry，OK，X is cancel， OK，K is kill，OK，that means it's deleted， OK， 这是取消 ，OK， 这个跟那个不太一样 ，OK。And then A is for active，OK，A 就是现在还没卖 ，OK，available， A for available， active。Okay, so a contract is in midstream and is an executory contract. So executory is an adjective, right? Contract is a noun. Okay, 这是中途操作的协议。That's what it means. In the middle of doing the contract. Okay, which provision have yet to be completely performed. There's a lot of things in there that needs to be done. Example, repairs, termites, right? Appraisal, doing the loan, etc. Okay, 什么东西中途又做了 ？Right， 修理东西啊，做摆卖仪啊 ，right， 估价啊 ，right， 做 loan 啊，做贷款啊，等等，签文件啊 ，OK。Alright, completion is finish, right? Done. Occurs after contract has been completed and extends until statute of limitation runs out. Typically, statute of limitation is 3 years. Okay, don't think that when you close a deal, it's closed. Okay, a problem crops up, right? You still have to fix it. Okay, execute a contract. What does it mean? Contract has been discharged or performed. Okay, so this one, okay, it's not completed, right? Someone could say, let's cancel contract. A cancel contract is an executed contract. Okay, a cancel contract is an executed contract. A completed contract, right? A completed contract is also executed contract. 给你取消的 contract 也是名称叫 executed contract， OK？ 你完成的 contract 也是叫 executed contract， 就是完成了，做完了 ，OK？ 这是它的意思。Alright, terms used in the contract. We're gonna keep repeating these verbs and nouns, okay? Execute 动词 is to sign a contract. 去签字，签协议 okay? Execution is the act of performing or carrying out a contract. Doing it, right? Doing the contract. 这是操作这个协议 okay? An executed contract is one that has either been discharged or performed. 刚才我们说了 right? 这个完成的协议什么意思呢？它真的过户完成了，还是它取消的，都是完成。Elements of a contract, okay? 协议里面的基本东西 okay? Number one, talk about capacity. The two parties, do they have the capacity, what it takes to do the contract? Do they have money? Do they have the house? Right? Are they of sound mind, right? Or are they in dementia? Okay. So, for example, if you have a contract with the Joker, right, in the movies, okay, he doesn't have the capacity because mentally he's crazy, right? Okay. Number two, okay. 这个 capacity 的意思就是有没有能力去操作这个协议，你有没有钱，有没有房子 ，OK， 有没有脑子 ，OK， 这不是老人痴呆的 ，OK。Two, mutual consent. Both parties have to agree. 两方有同意。OK， 这个 easy, right? Number three, legality. OK. Is it legal to do this transaction? Okay, 合不合法？这个协议合不合法 ？Okay. Number four, consideration. Okay, it could be money. Okay, it could be something else. Okay, consideration 就是付费的 ，OK， 这是交易费，可以钱，也可以东西，也可以服务，都可以的。Okay. Number 5, writing sometimes required. Okay, so in real estate, you always require number 5, always written. Okay. 他讲写下来的有时候有需要的，但是做房地产的话必须要写下来，你不写下来的话就是没有协议。Okay, so these are the 5 elements, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in a contract, it is imperative 很重要 right? 你一个协议很重要 to remember 要记得 that the following are not essential elements of the valid contract. Things below is not essential. Okay, money. It doesn't have to be money, right? It could be a service. It could be you're swapping things, right? Okay, 不需要钱。Okay. 你可以交换东西啊 ，right？ 给人家一个服务，还是不做一样东西，还是做一样东西。Writing, right? Except for real estate contract. So this, for real estate, we have to, okay? But in real life, you don't have to write it down. Only for real estate. And performance, 你做还是不做 ，right？ 你可以操作，你不操作的话也可以，但是对方会有纠纷，他会告你。Okay? So performance and money not necessarily have to be there. Okay? Alright, let's dive in a little bit more deeper, right? 我们比较细看一看，能力有没有能力来做 capacity. All person legally what? 18, right? You mentioned here 18. 要18岁以上，成人。Okay? 不是成人的话，就无效的，你签的都是无效的。Anyone under the age of 18, except emancipated minors, OK? 如果他父母同意他结婚了 ，OK？ 16岁、17岁结婚，没问题，他只是一个成人了 ，OK？ 这个是 exception. Or they declare they independent, right? 他们宣布他们是独立的。So it's under 18. Okay. Or they got married with the parents' permission when they're 16 or 17. Incompetent. Person judged to be of unsound mind. Okay. 他老人痴呆 right? 神经病 right? 他就是不知东还是西 okay? Incompetent. They cannot understand what the contract means. Right? 他们不知道内容，你讲什么？你讲他读完之后也忘了 ，right？ 还是他不明白这个协议 ？Okay. Convicts 这个囚犯 ，okay? Person serving terms in a prison. Okay, while in prison, you lose your civil rights. See, civil rights are lost during the course of the jail term. Okay, in jail, you cannot sign any contract. Okay. May convey property with approval of California adult authority. Okay. 它可以过户东西，签协议的话就无效了。 So don't try to sell a house to convict while incarcerated. Okay, wait till they come out. 不用卖房子给囚犯了 ，OK， 他签不了协议。Alright, mutual consent. 两方同意 a genuine offer by one party and a genuine acceptance by another party. Okay, 两方同意 A and B. Okay, 两方同意 Alright, let's look at the offer. An expression of willingness to enter into a contract. Okay, 这是开价 right? So the offerer is the person, usually the buyer, who has made the offer. Right? Go through an agent presents the offer to the other agent. Here's the buyer, here's the seller. Okay? So the offerer is the buyer. Offeree is the person, seller, whom the offer has been made, right? So seller is the offeree. 1 second. Star Max, may I help you? This is yes, Yes, Okay. Yeah. Just text me the receipt, okay? Okay. All right. I'm conducting a class right now, so I'll talk to you later, okay? All right. Thank you. Bye bye. Okay. Let me lock this down. All right. So offerer is the buyer. Offeree is the seller, okay? Now, if we go back now, right, we'll have a counter offer, right? Seller is going this way now, right? Agent and buyer, right? Seller now becomes the offerer. Buyer becomes the offeree. Okay? So they go back and forth. Back and forth. Okay? So whoever is giving the offer or counter offer is the offerer. Whoever is receiving the offer or the counter offer is the offeree. Okay? 谁给 offer 出去还是 counter offer 还个价，它的名称叫 offerer。收到这些 offer 的人还是 counter offer 的人叫 offeree。Alright, what is the contractual intent? Okay, very. The judge will always look at that, right? 法官会看这个，你到底你的协议的目标是什么东西 ？Okay, so it exists when the offerer communicates an offer to the offeree with the intention of forming a binding contract. Okay, contractual intent does not exist. Not, right? It exists with social invitation or advertisement. They cannot force you to go to a party, right? they cannot force you to buy something, right? 他们说 OK 这个请客请帖 right 你不需要去啊 right 你可以在很感谢但是来不了有事情 right 广告也是一样 right 人家打广告你不需要去买啊 right so social invitation advertisement it's not a contract okay 这类的请帖啊广告啊它不是协议 Alright, terms 条件很重要 I want to stress the fact, okay? Very, very important. 很重要的东西 okay? Everybody look at one of the terms is money. Okay? Money, second thing is time. Okay? 很多时候 right? Number one is money. Number two is the time. Okay? There's other terms in there, right? 其他的条件 Okay? So when you're negotiating, right, the other terms is very important too, right? 其他的条件有时候比这个钱跟时间更重要。So a real estate contract must contain what? A price. Money, right? How much you're going to pay for the house. Specific financing term, right? How are you going to get the money, right? And accurate description of the property. 你到底是什么房楼 right? Okay, 有价位啊 right? 价钱你怎么去达到这个价位呢？是现金吗？贷款吗？ right? 等等 Show me the money. 插上呢，房子是什么东西 right? 三房两浴啊，在哪里啊 right? Where, right? Where is it? And what is it? Right? 在一上 Okay, is it 3 bedroom, 2 bath? Or is it a 10 bedroom, 12 bath? Right? What kind of house you selling me? Right? These are the specific terms. Or you could say you have free rent for 1 month, right? Before I move in, right? Those are terms, right? 他可以讲，我过户之后，你可以免租住1个月，你慢慢搬，没有压力 ，OK？ 可以的 ，OK？ 这是其他条件在里面。I want to take the opportunity to make sure people understand the terms, okay? One house that we did in Rancho, okay? It was right after Thanksgiving, okay? And the sellers kind of freaking out. They don't want to move that quick after close of escrow. So everybody is offering X, about the same amount, okay? But we added another term. We say, okay, seller, this is Christmas, this is New Year, right? Buyer will give you 30 days, okay, until the 5th of January, right? You can stay there for free, gratis, okay? You don't have to be stressed out, right, during the holidays, right? You have Christmas, New Year, blah, 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 right? Take it easy, right? Move at your own pace, right? We're giving them that, and we got acceptance, okay? 所以呢，这个条件很重要 ，OK？ 我们有一个案子 ，OK？ 刚好过了 感恩节 ，right？ 代价给这个卖主差不多一样的价位了 ，OK？ 为什么我们拿到这个房子？我们给这个屋主30天免费租 ，OK？ 他不用很快搬走 ，OK？ 因为他圣诞节啊、新年等等，我们给他到1月5号，你慢慢搬 ，OK？ 没有压力，然后免费住了里面，我们拿到了 ，OK？ So terms is very, very important, okay, other than price. Price is about the same, okay? Time is about the same, right? Everybody closes in 30 days. So not much distinction here, right? But over here makes all the difference. Alright, illusory contract. Illusory contract, what does that mean? Right? 模糊的协议. One in which the terms are not definite and certain. Therefore, the contract is unenforceable. Okay. What are the terms that is not defined? Words like few, right? Pay me back someday. Okay. And a word about. Okay. These are non-specific. Non-specific. So the judge could say, what is a few? 2, 3, 100, 200. Some, same thing, right? About, right? And when they say days, right? Is it calendar day or is it business day? Right? Alright. 这些单词 right? Few. Okay? 小小的 some 一些 about 大概 right? Days. Okay? 是工作天呢还是日历的天数 Okay? 所以这个很模糊 Okay? Illusionary Okay? Not clear. Okay? So the judge cannot say, hey, you did not perform, blah, 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 right? They don't have anything specific. So they throw it out of court. Dismissed. Okay. Alright, acceptance. 同意,接受. It is the consent to the terms by the offeree. Right? Depending on when you switch back and forth, right? Offeree could be the seller, or offeree could be the buyer. Okay. Silence cannot be interpreted as acceptance. 你没说话，没声明，不表示你接受。Okay. Acceptance must be communicated. Okay. 你接受必须要宣布出来。Okay. Acceptance must be in the manner specified in the offer. Sometimes when you do accept, you sign, right? There's also a confirmation, right? 就是你回来知道了，知道他接受了 Okay? So any counter offer automatically constitutes a rejection of the original offer and a proposal of a new offer. Okay? Counter offer is the new stuff. Okay? 你还个债 right? 还这些条件 right? 都是新的 Okay? Let's remember that. A counter offer, right, is you reject the original offers the terms, and those are the terms that need to be changed. Okay， 价位啊、条件啊等等这些有改的，这是你返回去的 counter offer。Termination of an offer, right？ 怎么去结束一个 offer， right？ Lapse of time, right? Typically is 3 days for offer. Okay, counter offer, it could be hours to days, right? Counter offer, you want them to reply you ASAP, right? Because there's other offers, right? You give them 24 hours, or you give them 48 hours, anything in between, okay? And sometimes even 12 hours. Alright, 有时候呢，你想还他这个价钱，但是你知道外面有很多 offer， 所以呢，你给他短短的时间，12个钟头就有回我了 ，OK， 半天。Alright, communication or revocation. Offer can be terminated by offerer at any time before offeree has communicated acceptance. So before they accept, you could withdraw the offer. Okay. WOO. Woo. Okay, withdraw of offer. 你把你的 offer 抽回来，因为他还没有接受嘛 ，right？ 没有效，所以呢，你可以抽回来。Failure of offeree to fulfill condition. Right? Buyer accepted, but they didn't put in EMD. Right? Earnest money deposit within 3 days, right? Then they could cancel. Right? Failure of offeree to fulfill condition, right? 买主接受了，但是他没有给这个头款准许，3天之内他没有给头款准许，对方可以取消它 ，OK？ Or rejection, right? Offeree rejects or makes a counter offer. Right? 他不要你的 offer， 他就是回一个给你 ，OK？ 所以呢，他以前的 offer 就 terminated。Okay? Death or insanity of either party or broker voids the offer. Okay? If the seller died, had a heart attack, or he became insane, okay? Or the broker who signed the listing, they die or they became insane. There's no contract because the principal is not here. Okay? 每一方里面 right? 包括这个 broker 在内 right? 因为他有 listing agreement. Okay? 他死亡还是他脑子有问题 okay? 都可以取消的 Right, illegality of purpose, right? Any condition or purpose of the contract deemed illegal, the contract is void. Okay? 如果你协议里面做事是非法的东西 ，OK？ 这个协议就是无效的。So you don't see, gangster arguing over a contract in court, right? They don't have a contract. They have a gentleman's agreement, right? They have oral agreement, right? You give me this, I'll give you that. Okay? 黑社会里面的话没有协议的。Okay? So they go by, they express it orally, and sometimes is indirect, imply contract. So that's why you run into a lot of problems, right? They didn't express it outright, they didn't write it down, right? And then they don't agree and they start shooting, right? 很多时候这是黑社会的 right， 他们没有协议的，他嘴巴说 OK， 他有他的概念，对方有他们的概念，所以呢有纠纷的时候呢就打起来了。Okay? A counter offer also terminate an offer, right? Automatically terminate all previous offers or the terms of the offer, right? 你还价的时候 right 还条件，以前那个 offer 就没有了。Right, genuine consent. Okay, 这是诚意接受。Okay, both offer and acceptance must be genuine and real. Okay, 两方要真的这个真诚去操作这个协议。Okay, this does not occur in cases of what? Fraud, right? 诈骗行为。So occurs when a person misrepresents a material fact knowing that is not true. Okay, 说谎嘛 right? 明明这边漏过水，他讲没有。Okay, there was a leak in the house, and say no leaks, never ever. Okay, so that's fraud. Mutual mistake. Right, exists when both parties are mistaken as to the matter of the agreement. Okay, I guess English is a problem, right? They don't understand the contract. Right, the lawyers put out a contract, right? It's too complicated, too wordy. Right, they both thought of something else. Okay, now I'm gonna reverse this. Okay, let's do undue influence first, right? 有压力 okay, exists when a person in a position of authority, such as broker, salesperson, or parents, uses that authority to an unfair advantage. Okay, 有人在影响你 ，OK， 给你压力。一个 broker 告诉你怎么去操作，还是家长，还是配偶逼你去做一件事。This is undue influence. Okay. Next thing, next level, menace, a threat to commit duress. Okay. If you don't do this contract, I will do this to you. Or if you don't do this, I don't do that. Right? It's a menace, right? More so than undue influence. Okay. 这个呢，就是宣布 ，right？ 怎么说呢？这是威胁嘛 ，OK？ 你不做，我就不做什么什么 ，OK？ 你不做这个协议，我就做什么什么 ，OK？ 来伤害你，等等 ，OK？ 这是 menace。Duress is the top level, okay? An unlawful detention of a person of his or his property. Duress is like they pointing a gun to your head. Sign. Please sign the contract. They don't even say please, they just say sign. Okay? 他把这个枪指着你脑袋，就叫你签。Okay? 这是 extreme duress. 非法威胁的行为 okay? So under all these conditions, right, undue influence, menace, duress, mistakes, and fraud, right? Then the contract is no good, right? It wasn't genuine, okay? 没有诚意去签的。legality, okay? 合不合法 ？Legality. The requirement that the contract be legal in both formation and operation. It has to be legit, right? You cannot say, you sell me this house, I'll give you how many kilos of cocaine, right? The compensation is not legal, right? You could say I'll give it to you in yens or yuan or libra, right? But not give you a drug, right? Cocaine. 合不合法 ？OK， 你可以卖房子，买个房子 ，OK。我给你多少磅的，这是毒品 ，OK， 海洛因等等 ，OK， 不行的。你可以讲我给你美金 ，OK， 人民币 ，right， 英国的镑 ，right， 等等 ，right， 但是毒品不行 ，OK。So both consideration and its objective must also be lawful. OK， 里面的行为等等的都要合法。OK， You have a contract to kill someone, right? No, that's not a contract. The contract is void because it's not legal to do that, right? 由谁去签，你去帮他去杀人 ，right？ 这个不合法的东西就没有协议了。Okay, consideration, right? We talk about that, right? It has to be legal as well, right? Usually anything of value given by one party to another. Okay. 不需要钱哦 okay? It doesn't have to be money. Benefit to a party of a contract or another person. Loss, suffer, or agree to be suffered. An agreement not to bring a legal lawsuit. Okay? 这个协议讲，我做这些东西你就不干我了 ，OK？ 还是什么什么 ，OK？ 这是一个协议 ，OK？Payment of money is not needed as adequate consideration, OK？ 有时候很多协议它不是钱的，没有交易钱的 ，OK？ 就是同意我做这个东西，你给我这个服务等等 ，OK？ 但是有合法的东西。Alright, proper writing. Okay, again, in real estate, you have to do in writing, okay? 关于房产所有的协议必须要写下来 okay? Personal property contract may be either written or oral, but the statute of fraud requires that most real estate contracts, okay, be in writing to be enforceable. Okay? Write it down. That's why we have offers, counter offers, and all that, okay? Alright, parole evidence rule. What does this mean? Assumes a written agreement to be complete and final expression of the rights and duties of all parties to a contract. Whatever is there is there. Okay? Parole evidence rule. Prohibits the introduction of any prior agreement as evidence in court action. They cannot say, hey, this is some other contract. It was changed from another contract or new contract, right? It is what it is. That's what it says, okay? Parole evidence rule. except the court will allow such evidence only if the contract is incomplete, ambiguous, or may not be enforceable because of mistake or fraud. OK， 它不可能改变。OK， 有可能性的话，它就是没有完成里面的条件，还是它模糊，还是它里面搞错了，还是它有诈骗行为在里面。OK， 这个就是一个协议里面所有的东西就存在了。OK， 其他的东西不会影响它的。Alright, statute of frauds, okay? So if you have time, read through this. Okay. Typically, it's just common law, right? 这是关于协议的法律 ，OK， 基本协议法律。Alright, performance, discharge, or breach of a contract. How do you handle those? OK， 怎么去操作？怎么去取消？怎么去犯规这个 contract？ OK， 我们看看。Performance of a contract. A successful completion of a contract usually result in a performance release from any past or future liability. OK， 你完成就完成了 ，right？ 那个房子 ，OK pass，right？ 过，没问题 ，right？ But in real estate transaction, you always have 3 years. Okay, if they discover that a mole inside the attic, they had a leak, you didn't tell them, that's when they have issue. Okay, so in real estate, you have to do the 3 Ds. Okay, everybody know the 3 L's, right? In real estate, right? Location, 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 right? 那个口号啊，就是地点地点地点 ，right？ 但是你操作 as a real estate agent, right? What do you have to do? What's the disclosure, 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 right? 宣布宣布宣布 ，OK？ 不用问了对方 ，right？ 有东西情况告诉对方 ，OK？ 告诉两方都知道 ，OK？ 这边漏过水的，哎，这边火烧过的，哎，油过漆的，哎，5个洞啊，哎，等等都要 disclose 出来。OK， 中途的话你可以 do assignment， 转让给别人 ，OK？ Transfer of a person's right in a contract to another party. It's called assignment of contract. The one who's assigning is called an assignor. The one who's accepting it is called an assignee. So the assignee becomes the principal. Okay. Has original contract but transfer the rights but maintains secondary liability. Okay. They're still liable, remember that, okay? If the assignee does not perform. 转让的人 ，OK， 他接收之后，他没有操作，没有做好这个协议 ，OK， 这个转让者还是有责任的 ，OK。OK, novation. What's novation? It's a substitution by agreement of a new contract for old one. OK， 重新弄个租约，这是叫 novation. Replacing a new contract is called novation. 重新写个协议，就是这个意思。novation， 重新写个协议。 Alright, discharge of a contract. How do you end a contract? 这个协议怎么去结束 ？Okay, many ways. Okay, full performance. 完全做完了 ，OK， 做成了 ，OK， done. Substantial performance. Okay, that means not to the satisfaction of the other party, but it nevertheless is done, right? Just like your contractor, right, did your kitchen, right? 但是你不太满意 ，right？ 他没有做得非常好，还是他的人工差一点，叫 substantial performance。Okay, the contractor, they did it, right? They put in the countertop, but the workmanship is not there. You could see it's a little bit crooked, things like that. Okay, it's called substantial performance, below the standard. Partial performance. What that means? 做一半，没有做完。Okay, the contractor left your kitchen unfinished. Okay, 你装修这个厨房，他没有做完。Okay, impossibility performance. Okay, 没可能可以完成的情况。Okay, just like what we have right now, right? Coronavirus, right? Somehow things cannot be completed. Impossible until the law changes or this pandemic goes away. Okay, 这个就是没办法去完成 ，impossible. Okay, alright. 另外的话 ，right? Other things to terminate contract. Agreement between parties. Mutual consent, right? 两方同意停掉。Okay. Operation of law. Okay. Maybe it's the legality issue. Okay. 这是法律堵住了 ，right? 不给你去做。Acceptance of a breach, right? 一方接受他犯规了。One party, they didn't perform. The other party said, yeah, okay. We'll live with it. Next, right? Or breach. Someone did not do something and people start suing, right? Breach. Whenever you have a breach, you have a possibility of a lawsuit, okay? 犯规了 ，right？ 一方犯规了，有可能性，就是打官司了 ，okay? Okay, so all of these, okay, would discharge a contract， 把这个协议停掉，还是取消 ，okay? Again, statute of limitations, right? Some time frame, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. Right? These are the time limitations. Okay. 这些呢，就是时间段 ，OK， 有6个月、1年、2年、3年、4年、5年、10年，这是法律 ，OK。比如说，你有赔偿，你被告你输了又赔偿 ，OK。这个赔偿呢，就有10年的效 ，OK， 等等 ，OK。里面有很多的东西了 ，OK， 我们有花时间去读一读 ，OK。 Remedies for breach of a contract. Right? When you breach, how can we fix it? 有人犯规了，我们怎么去处理 ？A. Acceptance of a breach， 就是接受。Unilateral rescission， 一方退出 ，one party quits. Action for dollar damage， suing， 告，争取。Possible action for specific performance， 他不要钱，他就是你有做到。有做，你必须要卖你的房子给我。我不要你赔偿我。我要买到你的房子。So this for performance. I want to buy your house, right? Don't give me any compensation, right? I want the house, right? As per the contract. Alright, acceptance of a breach is easy, just accept. Alright, discharge of a contract may simply be accepting the breach. The wrong party does not pursue legal action. Okay? 对方没有做或者做错事，另外一方接受 ，OK， 我们停掉吧。Unilateral rescission, right? The wrong party discloses the wrong and restore everything of value to the offending party, right? Legal grounds for rescissions are frauds, mistake, duress, menace, undue influence, and faulty considerations. 一方可以取消，他诈骗行为，他做错事，有威胁行为等等，还是他这个给这个钱，还是东西，还是他的服务没有到位。Minor or incompetence may generally rescind their contracts. Incompetence they don't know, but minors typically, your 17-year-old son go to car dealership and sign a lease, drove back the car and say, hey, look, mom, dad, look at my brand new Tesla, He's not legally to sign contracts to purchase until he's 18. 你17岁的小孩，男孩，回到家里开个新的跑车，除非他是 all cash，他全现金买的，可以，但是如果他做贷款等等就不可以了，不够年龄，可以退却，还是你帮他买下来。Alright, action for dollar damages, occurs when a court suit for breach requests payment of a fixed amount of money as compensation. 就是告嘛，要钱。Liquidated damage agreement sets in advance a specific amount of money as the compensation if there's a breach. Typically, in a real estate buy-sell situation, the EMD, is the liquidated damage, typically 3%. Or they cannot charge you more than 3%. So you tie people up for 30 days, $50,000, $500,000 home, 3% is 15 grand. That's kind of hefty. Okay. 所以你买卖房子的时候，有时候你没有完成，你没有这个能力，但是你你这个出头款3%，就人家有可能没收你的3%，50万的房子，你丢 15000进去3%，OK， 你买不到人家的房子 ，OK， 有什么事情发生，你什么都是好的，但是你这边没有拿到贷款，但是你讲没问题，你就签这个 contingency removal，OK， 但是最后没有拿到钱，买不到，他可以没收你那个初期定金15000。Okay. So typically, liquidated damages for not buying a house, if everything goes through, and except for certain item, and you sign all the contingencies, okay, the seller could retain the 3% as liquidated damages, okay, at maximum. Alright, specific performance, right? They don't want money from you. They want the thing that you are selling, the house, right? The party causing the breach is through court action forced to perform the terms of the contract. You have to sell the house to me, for example, okay? Courts will only consider this option if dollar damages cannot provide adequate remedy. Okay? 你不可以给我50万吧 right? Right? 你有卖房子给我 okay? The contract must shown to be just and reasonable. Right? 价位啊，买房子啊，值不值这个钱等等 Okay? So if you say I'm going to sell you my $500,000 home, right? For what? 20,000 only? Okay, that's not just. Okay, no good. The value doesn't match up. Okay. Contract must have been based on adequate consideration. Okay, 一个合理的 OK， 这个法官有看到，你干嘛这个同意 right？ 少个零吗？多个零吗 right？ Okay. Digital real estate forms and contract, right? Right now, when you're a member of the MLS, right, car.org provide all the forms for you, okay? CAR is California Association of Realtors. Right? 通过这个网，你可以用上他们所有的协议。Okay? If you do commercial, right, you have the air form. Okay? Cost you a few $100s for the library set access, okay? For commercial, okay? 你做商业的话，有另外一种表格 ，OK， 叫 Air Forms，OK， 大概几百块一年吧 ，OK。Digital real estate forms. Today, most real estate forms are available to fill online using computer or mobile devices. Computer-generated forms save time, okay? Before you use paper, you fill it out, right? You make a mistake, you gotta do all over again, right? So right now you have templates, okay? All the terms is pretty much fill out, right? You just fill in the buyer's name, right? The dollar amount, what date to close, okay? Etc. And then they sign. They e-sign. Okay, very fast. Okay, we could do an offer in about 10 minutes. Okay, 10 to 15 minutes. Before it take us half an hour to do. Okay, if you're good. Alright, the residential purchase agreement. Let's see how further. It's a long chapter. Okay, we're almost finished. Okay, we'll take a long break after this. Alright, the offer and the acceptance. It's called the California Purchase Agreement and Escrow Instruction, Joint Escrow Instruction. They typically call this an RPA. Okay, Residential Purchase Agreement. Okay, it's a package. Inside they have other forms too. Okay. Okay, it's about 16 pages altogether. The RPA itself is about 10 pages. And it's growing, right? Initially, when they first started, years back, 100 years back, it's only one page. Okay, now it's turned to 10 pages. Okay, 以前刚开始的 ，right？ 100年前就是一张纸 ，OK， 现在有 10 pages， OK， 总共这个 package 有16。Okay, now with the coronavirus, right, we add 3 more pages. Okay. So when using pre-printed forms, the handwritten part have control over the printed parts. Okay. So if you handwrite something in, it will supersede what's typewritten, and then you initial it, right? 这种表格的话，你手写上去有效的 ，OK， 你就简签 initial 在旁边 ，OK， 它打印出来的就变为无效了，因为你把它擦掉 ，right， 然后你写新的东西上去。Right, paper school versus digital, right? Paper, you have copies, right? Triplicates. Okay. Digital, you just email it. Right? 纸张的话，你要打3份 ，right？ 一个给 seller， 一个给 buyer， 一个给自己 ，right？ 或给对方 agent。Digital 的话 ，right？ 通过电脑的话，你是 email 过去，你要多少份，我给你多少份 ，right？ 大家可以打开，打印出来去看。Your client should dictate a method by which you fill out and complete the purchase agreement. OK， 有些老人家他不懂电脑的话 ，OK， 没办法，你要打印出来，他有手签，然后你拿回来扫描，来给对方另外的人去电子签。All contracts need to be in writing or digital form to be unenforceable. OK， 所以所有的协议都写下来啊 ，right？ 最好的话，你有电脑。OK， 电脑的部分的话 ，OK， 两方又同意用电脑的东西 ，OK。The filled-in contract form can be emailed to your client, smartphone or computer and save time in the process. OK， 这个他还没有讲到 e-sign 呢 ，OK， 但是 email 过去，他签，然后 email 回来。Alright， 这个协议就是这样子的 ，OK， 这个样子，这个是 Residential Purchase Agreement，OK， RPA。Okay, so in it you see the buyer, the name, property address, okay, how much? 800,000, close in 90 days, right? Initial deposit, right? 10,000. Okay, this is not 3%. Okay, it should be 24,000 as 3%. And then this is the loan, first loan, 640, and the balance of 150, totaling 800. Okay, so it talks about how a buyer is going to pay for the $800,000 home. OK， 这个是买房子的协议。OK， 买主的名字 ，right， 房子地址 ，right， 多少钱？80万，90天完成。初期头款是1万块，贷款是64万。OK， 首付加回来再给15万，总数80万。OK， this is the first page， 这是第一页。Alright, the deposit is collected as consideration, right? This is called initial deposit. Okay, or they call it the EMD for the purchase agreement contract. Covenant is promised between the two parties of a contract. Okay, so that's what the terms in there. Contingency, condition, and subject to, right? Okay. Provision in a deposit receipt by which all parties are released from all obligation. If some state of occurrence fails to materialize, usually the availability of financing. Okay. 万一他贷款做不成，哎，还是检查不过，哎，太多白蚂蚁了，哎，等等。So conditions like loan, right? They couldn't get the loan through, or it doesn't pass the house inspection, or you have tons of termite and the buyer don't want it. Okay, things like that. Okay. All right, purchase agreement addendum. You could always make changes, right? Okay. The seller remain in possession after close of escrow, right? This was what we had, right? We'll let them stay 30 days rent free. They could pay rent. We could demand rent, right? But we did not. Okay, they got a free ride. Tenant to remain in possession. Okay, 房客还住了在里面，也不用换房客。Okay， 一个是投资房。Okay, second assumption of loans, short pay, court confirmation, anything that you need to change, you go through an addendum, right? 你有改变什么东西的话，等等 ，right？ 你就加上去这个协议，改这个协议。Okay, errors and omission insurance, right? Typically, if you're an agent, you have to fork out at least $4,000 a year. Okay, so to defray that cost, right? Use the company insurance, and we only charge $150 per case. Okay, per party. If you represent both the buyer and the seller, that's $300. Okay, errors and omissions 保险 ，OK， 就是你写错东西啊等等 ，right？ 因为你自己拿的话，一年是4000块的 ，OK， 但是你又通过公司有这个保险的话 ，right？ 每个案子150块 ，OK， 代表一方的，因为你两方的代表的话，这个案子是150块乘以2，300块。The counter offer form is only one page. You don't have to repeat the entire the offer, right? 你回复人家这个还价的时候 ，OK， 就还人家一张纸 ，OK， 你不用重写一遍那个 offer， 不需要。So it is used instead of completing an entire new purchase agreement when a counter offer is made. Okay, offeree become the offerer, right? And the contract negotiation may involve several counter offer, typically 2 to 3, 1, 2, or 3. Okay. Sometimes I dragged it out to 5 or 6. That's because people don't talk, right? Well, don't try not to go over 3. It's senseless to go 5 or 6, right? Talk it out orally before you write it down with the other agent. 大部分讨价还价的话是1回、2回、3回搞定 ，OK。这个5、6、7、8就他们没有讲好 ，OK。他想了什么写什么，回回复复很多次，不用浪费时间。谈好这个条件，然后就写出来。大概 number 2 you finish, you're done, okay. So inspection advisory for buyer, right? Okay, you have to advise the buyer what they need to do. You are strongly advised to investigate the condition and suitability of all aspects of the property. If you do not do so, you are acting against the advice of brokers. Okay, tell them to get an inspection, right? Make sure nothing is wrong, right? Don't come back to me and say, oh, you didn't tell me this, you didn't tell me that, right? Get a professional inspection so you know what's going on. As professions, right, real estate agents have a duty to advise buyers to exercise reasonable care to protect themselves. Buyers beware. Okay? Buyers beware. 给你买房子好50万，很多钱的嘛，你有搞清楚你买什么东西，所以检查报告。Right now it's about $400 inspection average. Okay, 检查个房子大概400块。Spend the money. You could sleep at night, right? Seller agent require disclosure, right? 还有宣布东西。Remember I tell you, when you become an agent, right? All you do is disclose, disclose, disclose. Okay? 有宣布。Agent inspection disclosure, right? Whatever you see there's something wrong, abnormal, you write it down. Okay? Real estate agency relationship, who do you represent? Okay. Earthquake safety guy, lead based paint. Okay, if it's a house is built before 1978. Okay. Prior to, okay. Smoke detector, water heater, all of those things, right? Disclose. Yeah, a disclosure form, or most important form, is called a TDS. Okay, transfer disclosure statement. It tells all about the house, okay? All the equipment, AC, furnace, heater, fireplace, pool, type of roof, etc. Very comprehensive, okay? Next item is SPQ. Okay, seller property questionnaire. You ask them all about the surroundings. Anybody die on the property within the last 3 years? Things like that, okay? Etc. Okay. All of these amounts to maybe 30 pages. Okay. Don't worry, everything is printed out already. You just have them sign. Okay. Um, 很多这种宣布的，譬如说，这个房子如果它1978年之前盖的， 它可能有这个含铅的油漆等等，就告诉他，这个 smoke detector 烟呢，这是设备，还有热水炉等等，还有一个 TDS 是宣布它房子有什么设备，SPQ 就是看看房子周围环境，譬如说3年之内有没有人死了在这个房子里面，OK， 等等，OK， 总共有30页，也很简单，你打印出来它签就 OK 了。Alright, purchase options， 它有选择了。Optioner is the one who's giving the option. Optionee is the one who could purchase or lease. Option is basically give you time. 选择是给你一个时间去参考要不要买他的房子，That time you have to pay money for it. Nothing is free. 没有免费的午餐他给你时间段，他要钱的，OK， 可能房租提高，还是你给他一笔小钱等等，OK, so this has been a long chapter, okay? So we're going to take a 15-minute break, okay? We're going to go and come back around 11, okay? Oh, this is chapter 5, lapse of time. This is expiration. Okay, alright, so we'll see you in about 15 minutes, okay? So break till 11. Alright, let's see how the YouTube people live stream. Okay, we're back. A few minutes late. Sorry about that. Let's talk about Chapter 6, Landlord and Tenants. Once we understand the contract, when you do the leases, right, you have a lease agreement. Okay, and that's a contract between the landlord and the tenant. 章节6的话，我们讲房东跟房客。OK， 刚才我们讲协议你现在也知道，right？租房的话，你又通过一个协议来操作，又写下来的。如果你没有协议的话，你将来很难处理这个房客 ，OK？ 没有记录嘛 ，right？ Okay. Now, before we start, I'm going to let you know some other words. Landlord is also called lessor. Notice the O in here and the O. Okay? Tenant is also called lessee. Okay? Match up the E. Okay? So you don't get confused, right? Lessor is the landlord, lessee is the tenant. Alright? OK， 房东的名称叫 landlord， 它另外一个名称是 lessor， 里面有个 O， 这边有个 O， 房客是叫 tenant， 另外的名称叫 lessee， 他们两边都有 E 在里面 ，OK， 所以不用糊涂 ，OK。So get this clear. Landlord is lessor, tenant is lessee. Okay? So let's look at what are the relationship, 他们的关系 okay? The relationship is created, okay, when the owner gives the possession and use of his or her property to another for rent or other consideration. Okay, rent is money, right? Other consideration could be something else. Okay, non-money. 这个关系怎么开始呢？就是房东给房客他的房子房楼租给他们嘛 ，right？ 收房租还是收其他东西都可以的。Landlord, the owner of the property being rented or leased, is also called lessor. Right? I just addressed that, right? Lessor. 房东他就租他房子出去 ，OK？ 另外的名称叫 lessor。Tenant is the person who rent or leasing the property, is also called a lessee with the E. Okay? Now, there's a difference between a lease and a rental agreement. OK， 它有差别的。OK， 这个名称 lease 这个租约跟普通租房的协议不一样。OK， a lease is a contract for a set time, typically 1 year or longer. OK， 它这个租约协议有时间的，基本上是1年，还是超过1年。Rental agreement, on the other hand, an agreement between the tenant and the landlord to to possess and use the property for a renewable period of time, usually from month to month. Okay， 普通的租约的话 ，right， 这是一段一段时间的，每一个月，OK。So for hotel, right， 酒店的话 ，they charge you a daily rent， 每一天他的 charge， OK，or you could ask them for the week special， right， 每一个礼拜 ，OK，they may have monthly too， OK， 每一个月 ，OK， 但是 rental agreement, right， that's short term, renewable. Lease is longer, typically 1 year. Okay， 普通的租约就是短期的 ，right？ 每一天、每一个礼拜、每一个月，就重复。OK，lease 就不一样 ，OK， 它长期，最少1年。OK， Alright, leasehold estate. What does that mean? Leasehold. It's less than freehold. OK， 它是什么意思呢？它就是它租客，他没有所有的权利嘛，他不可以卖你的房子嘛 ，right？ 他也不可以抽钱出来嘛 ，right？ 所以呢，他的产权小于房东的产权 ，OK？So an exclusive right to occupy and use the property on a temporary basis， 暂时性，他可以住的这个房楼里面 ，OK？ The owner has reversionary interest in which means he or she regains possession at the end of the leasehold period. OK， 这个租约完了 ，OK， 房子回到房东手上，这个呢就是叫 reversionary interest。OK， 他退房给房东了，房东收房了，这个叫 reversionary interest。Types of leasehold estate， 各种各样的租房的情况 ，OK。Estate for years， OK， very confusing， 比较模糊的 ，OK。它的名称叫 estate for years。Everybody think is like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. No. Years meaning a period of time. OK， 它的意思是一段时间 ，OK， 不是1年、2年、3年、4年等等 ，OK。What is a period of time? It could be 2 days, right? 一段时间是什么？可能是2天 ，right? It could be 3 weeks. 也可能是3个礼拜 ，or it could be 5 months， 也可能5个月 ，OK， a period of time. So they're gonna have a lot of trick questions, right? 他考试会考到你这边 ，OK？ They will ask you the following are estate for years except, right? They will put down A 2 days, B 3 weeks, C 5 months, and D every day or daily, right? Okay, the exception is D. Alright, you rent it by the day. Okay, so remember, okay, let's stay for years is a period of time. Okay, 这个名称 let's stay for years 就是一段时间。Now let's stay from period to period. This is what we talk about daily, right? Weekly or monthly. Okay. Let's stay at will is there's no lease, no agreement, right? Or it expired. No lease. Let's say a sufferance is expired and tenant is still living there. Okay. 这个名称 stay at will 就是没有协议，你没有租约 ，OK。stay sufferance 的话就是有协议，但是过期了，那个房客还在里面。Alright, let's look at the lease. What's the minimum requirement, right? You have to think of the acronym LAND, L-A-N-D, right? 你要记住这四个点。L is for length or duration of the lease. L 就是多长时间 time, right? Amount of rent 房租是多少啊？ Right. Names of the parties, right? Your tenant, what we call occupant. List. Right? 2 adults, 3 kids, and a dog. Okay? 名字，谁是你的房客？2个成人，3个小孩，1个狗狗。Okay? Description of the property. What type of house it is? Is it a condo, 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo, or 4-bedroom, 3-bath house? Okay. Any lease in effect for more than 1 year from the day of signing must be in writing. Okay. Must be in writing. The lessor must sign. Who's the lessor? Landlord, right? The lessee need not sign, though it's advisable if lease has been delivered and accepted. Okay. 租约的话，超过1年必须要写下来的。Okay. Lessor 房东 landlord 必须要 sign， 他不签没效的。Okay. The lessee 房客 need not sign， 房客不用签，他搬进去就算他接受签了，但是最好他签。If the lease has been delivered and accepted. Okay. So, very important. Landlord, lessor must always sign. Okay. So I always let the lessee sign first. Okay. You want the lease, right? Sign. Okay. After they sign, then the landlord have an option now to say yes or no, right? Okay, at the end. If the landlord changed their mind and said sorry, right? We return all of your deposits. 所以呢，最后一步就是给房东去签收签 ，OK？ 等到最后给他去签，是有什么不良的行为等等的话，你就不要这个房客。Alright, think of land. Alright, length 多长时间 ，amount 多少钱 names 这个名单 D description for the house 房楼什么房楼 Okay, rights and application of the parties. Okay, 我们看看每一方的责任跟权利。Okay. Alright, duration of the lease. Let's talk about that. Okay, 这个租约的时间段 ，agricultural land 农地 cannot be leased more than 51 years. Cannot be greater than 51 years. It could be less than or equal to 51 years. Okay, 农地你不可以租超过51年的 ，OK， 51年以上。Property in a city or town, right? 房楼在城市里面的话 ，right? 99 years. Cannot be greater than 99 years. Less than or equal to 99 years. Okay? So 100, no good. Okay? 房楼在城市里面的话，不可以租超过99年。Okay? 99年以上 OK， 所以你租谁100年不行的 OK。So what do? You say 99 years plus an option of 1 year afterwards, right? 你就加一个选择嘛 ，right？ 之后它可以加1年上去。Alright, mineral, oil, gas, and leases cannot exceed 99 years after work begins. 这个矿、油田跟瓦斯田 ，OK， 也不可以超过99年。Minor and incompetent possess property only if court has approved. 租房子的话 ，OK， 低于18岁的跟脑子有问题的人士，必须要通过法庭的通过允许就可以租。Okay. Amount of rent is that pay for use of the property, okay? 你的房租。Contract rent is what's in the contract. It's in the lease agreement. Okay? Economic rent is the market rent, current market. Okay? So, landlord want to get a good tenant, they lower the rent, right? Okay, so it's below market rent. Okay, if it's a very nice place, right, your contract rent could be $2,500, and the market rent is only $23. And you pay extra $200 to get a better place. Or if it's the other way around, right? You rent for $2,000. The place is worse than the market houses, right? 所以租金的 ，OK， 在租约里面，这个叫 contract rent。市场那个租金不一样的 ，OK， 你好一点的话，它高于市场；不好的、差一点的房楼就低于市场价。Okay, rents are also prorated in escrow. Okay. when you buy a house for income property, the rent is also split according to the date of closing, right? 你买房买这个投资房的话，租金也算得在里面 OK， 它分配这个租金给你的。Okay, let's talk about security deposits. Where we are? Right in the middle, close to the middle. Must be refundable on a residential unit. Notice they say residential unit and not commercial unit, right? Some commercial units, security deposit is gone. Okay, it's not refundable. You gotta look at your lease contract, okay? Commercial is a different animal. 定金的话 ，right？ 住宅方面的话，就又退回它了。OK， 商业的话就看协议里面怎么去写了。Maximum deposit legally allowed for the first month's rent plus, right? 2 months rent for unfurnished and 3 months for furnished apartments. Okay, 最多的定金你可以拿到手上，就是第一个月的租金加上2个月的租金，一个没有差距的，你可以加3个月，一个有差距的。Okay, so how do you get around by collecting more money? You call it prepaid rent. Don't call it deposit, call it prepaid rent. OK， 你怎么多收这个钱呢？你不用涨是定金，你就涨房租。OK， 他先付这个房租多少个月。Okay, deposits for residential lease in California must be refunded in full within 21 days of the tenant vacating unless there's a damage to the property or require cleaning. Okay, we had a case in Montana. The tenant trashed the carpet. Carpet is ruined. Heavily soiled, you cannot even clean it. Okay, we have to replace it. Replacement cost of the carpet and cleaning and painting exceeded the deposit, so they get 0 back. Okay, so deposit minus all the damage equal the deposit return. Okay. 在加州的话 ，right， 这个定金你必须要退房客21天之内，他搬出去，减掉清洁费、修理，因为他真的弄破了墙壁等等的。OK， 我们这个案子，它的地毯就脏的没办法 ，OK， 清洁不了，就又换了。这样的情形的话，它的超过它的定金，所以1分钱都不回他，还给他一个 bill， 他大部分都不会付的。Alright, assignment and subleasing provision. OK， assignment 你可以转让这个租约。OK， you could assign your rental lease agreement. OK， the transfer of the entire lease from the tenant to another party. OK， 你可以全部转让给第三者。Sublease is different. The transfer of less than the entire lease by tenant to another party. 你是做二房东 ，right？ 就是分租嘛，分租出去叫 sublease。assignment 就是全部转让给第三者。A sandwich lease is a leasehold interest in a property which lies between primary ownership interest and operating tenancy interest. 这个是做二房东 ，so you are leasing it to a third party and you become a secondary landlord. That's called a sandwich lease. Okay? 你就做二房东，你这夹的在中间 ，OK？ 你也是房客，你也是房东，你叫个新房客回来。Okay? Holder is both a tenant and a landlord to the same property. So this is just sandwich lease. Okay? 你也是房客，你也是房东，你不是正规的房东，你是二房东。Okay? Alright, liability for injuries and repairs. Okay, when the entire property is leased, the landlord is not usually liable. Okay, 你一栋房子租出去的话 ，right， 你就没有这个责任 ，OK， 但是最好的话，你又教他买一个 renter's insurance。Okay, get your renter to buy a renter's insurance to cover at least 100,000 of medical bill for liability. Okay. When the entire property is not leased, right, the landlord is usually liable for injury and repair in the common area, right? Let's say you have a fourplex that's individual, right? All the common area you have to get insurance for. OK， 你有多单位的4个单位的公寓，公众用上这些地，你要买保险。OK， if they fall here, right, that's not inside the unit, that is the landlord's responsibility. Okay, so liability, insurance. Okay, conditions and provision of the lease, right? The lease agreement is very important. Read it. Okay, take time to read each provision. Okay, 它每一栏很重要的，一个不重要的话不会写上去。If it's not important, they won't put it down in writing, right? So read it. Okay. Alright, termination of a lease. How do you terminate a lease, right? 怎么去这个租约协议结束了 ？Very simple. Expiration of the term, right? 到期了。1 year is up. It's expired. Right? Lack of quiet possession. Okay, this is a sticky part. Okay, you have a noisy neighbor, right? Your tenant cannot sleep. Your neighbor has a baby dog, walking dog. Right? They could get out of lease. Lack of quiet possession. Okay. 一个你的房楼 ，OK， 不安静的话 ，right， 你邻居吵闹啊 ，right， 有个狗啊等等 ，right， 他可以要求搬走的 ，OK， 给他安静。Repair for habitability. Okay, you have to keep the place clean. Okay, so for that, Okay, number one, right? You have to have hot water. Okay, your hot water heater have to work. Number two, you have to have heat available. In California, right? No, at the nighttime, wintertime, it's quite cold. Okay, and number three, clean, meaning they have access to garbage service. Okay, and you have to keep the place clean. If it's like an apartment, common area, right? Inside, you don't care, right? They take care of themselves. So anytime they don't have all these three, one, two, and three, okay, they could go to the health department, and if the health department comes and inspect, you're in trouble. Okay, they find any of these things not working, they give you a ticket, thousands of dollars. Okay, so be careful. 这个最基本的东西你要给人家 ，right？ 有热水炉有 working，right？ 有工作的，有暖气，然后干净，它有这个收垃圾的服务 ，OK？ 没有的话 ，right？ 它可以报运上去这个健康部门，你就惨了。OK？ 他来调查的话，你真的没有热水，真的没有暖气 ，OK？ 他给你单子的，好几千块了 ，OK？ Oops, let me finish this. Okay, destruction of the premise. Okay. Let's say your house burned down or earthquake, it collapsed. No more house, no more lease. Okay, 火烧了，烧了平平了。OK， 这个地震，房子垮掉，你没有房子，你就没有租约了。Okay. Breach of condition. Let's say your tenant is loud, okay, they hold parties all the time. Okay, you got police there, reports and everything. Okay, neighbors complain. They breach the condition, right? So you can get them out. Surrender abandonment, right? Let's say they got a new job in Florida. They don't even tell you. They just moved out, abandoned the place. That happens. Okay. 第二个就是他吵闹 ，right？ 警察，你叫警察来，有警察报告等等 ，OK？ 然后呢，你就把它结束了 ，OK？ 叫他搬，还是他可以放弃 ，right？ 他有好好工作在福州，他跑了，他就放弃了，一声吭声都不吭声，对，走了，搬走了。Or over here, they don't pay rent， 他不付房租怎么办？ OK， 赶他走了 ，eviction， operation of law。OK， 通过法庭赶他走，他不付钱的话。Alright, let's look at all of these things in detail. Okay. Expiration of the term, lease and when stated in agreement or with 30-day notice. OK， 协议里面讲 OK， 5月31号结束了。OK， 还是他30天之前讲，我要搬家了。然后你同意就可以搬。如果不同意的话，他又付到这个到期的这一天哦。OK。Lack of quiet possession. The right of both tenant and landlord be peaceful and uninterrupted use. Okay. So, in the beginning, you ask them, right? Can you stand barking dogs if you have a barking dog neighbor, right? Don't let them move in and then they come, oh, you're a barking dog, let them move out. You wasted his time and your time. Okay? 最好之前你租给他之前呢，你问他 ，OK？ 我们邻居有个小狗狗，常常叫的，你介意吗 ？OK？ 等等。Okay, repairs for habitability. Okay, so if you don't do anything, tenant could do this. Okay, give notice and fair warning to the landlord, and then spend up to 1 month's rent for habitability repair, maximum twice in a 12-month consecutive month period. So let's say anytime, right, within the 12 months period. 2 months, 1 and 2. Okay, that's the maximum. If it's a $2,000 rent, okay, they could spend up to $4,000 repairing stuff. Okay, if your AC is broken, if your heater is broken, right, they could just give you notice. You don't answer them, right? They could do it themselves and deduct the rent. Okay. 如果你的房客抱怨你没有空调啊，没有热水炉啊，没有暖气等等，哎，还是什么地方坏的，漏水等等，哎，你不管的话，他可以12个月之内可以做2次，哎，可以抽2次2个月的租金，比如说这2000块 ，right， 2个月是4000块，去修理东西。Okay， 最好他给你这个警告了 ，right？ 你也不管他 ，right？ Okay， 他可以花4000块，12个月之内去修理的东西，给你单子。Okay。Alright, abandonment of the premise which terminates the lease or rental agreement. 如果他放弃的话 ，right？ 你就收房子了 ，right？ 没办法，你人都找不到了 ，okay？So when they abandon, typically you cannot find them. They probably went out of state, and you just take the unit back and rent it out again. Alright, so these are civil code for habitability obligations. Okay. No leaking roof, right? Or exterior wall, right? 屋顶不用漏水 right? 不能淹水 Okay. Your plumbing and gas is working. Right? 你的水啊、瓦斯啊有好的 Okay. You have to running hot and cold water. And connection to a sewer system, right? 可以排水的 Heating, good working order. Electrical, working order. Building and grounds have to be clean. Right? No rubbish. Rodents, right? What's rodents? Rats, right? Ants, spider, wasp. Okay. And garbage cans. Right? You cannot just have one for 10 families. Floor, stairway, and railing maintain good repair, right? So people don't just fall down, right? And then here's the tenant's obligation, right? You have to keep his place clean, make sure everything is not misused, right? Okay, they just use it for living, right? Not for running an auto shop, right? Or do auto body repairs, right? Okay, so this is the habitability obligations for landlord and for tenant. OK， 这个很简单啊，这是我刚才说的 ，right？ 有热水，有暖气 ，right？ 加上了干净，没有老鼠，没有蟑螂等等 ，OK？ 然后地啊，楼梯啊，扶手啊，都要 OK 的。Alright, eviction or operational law. Let's talk about eviction, right? 怎么赶你的房客走？如果他不付房租的话 ，right？ 现在 right now, coronavirus time frame, you cannot evict anybody. Okay? Even if you do the paperwork, the courts is closed. They don't accept eviction papers. Okay? If you do need to evict someone, they'll have no good reason. They're not paying you. Get a lawyer. Write them a letter first, okay? Spend $150. Write the letter and then follow up with the lawyer. Okay? When the pandemic is over and they lift all this state of emergency, then you move on to do the eviction. Okay? So what is eviction? It's the legal process for removing a tenant in breach of the lease or rental agreement. Right? 现在这个病毒的情况不可以赶房客走的 ，OK？ 你最好是请个律师，付150块让他写封信，之后你就可以赶他走 ，OK？ So what are the steps? OK？ 怎么去赶那个正常时间 normal time frame? How do you get a tenant out? First, you do a 3-day notice to pay rent or quit. 第一件事就是给他一个清明，3天之内你付房租，你不付房租就搬走。Okay, so an eviction notice which informs the tenant that in 3 business days, 3个工作天哦 ，okay, he or she must pay or otherwise resolve the landlord's complaint or vacate the premise. So legal holiday weekends do not count in the 3 days process. So no Saturday, okay, no Sunday, okay, and no holidays. Okay, business days. So typically, you don't count the day that, you deliver the notice in the afternoon or mid-morning, right? That day, don't count it. Count the next day, business day, 3 business days, minus Saturdays, minus Sundays, minus holidays. And give them 1 grace day period. Okay? So that make sure that your 3 days is fully 3 days. Okay? 所以星期六不算，星期天不算，假日不算，你还加1天给他 ，OK？ 所以你有足够的3天。OK， 当天不算1天哦 ，OK？ 你可能是12点还是2点钟给他的。OK， 3个工作天满满的给他。OK， 然后你可以走下一步。So landlord should allow 1 day grace period to avoid any problems. Okay, add that 1 day. Okay, 加1天给他就好一点。So the form looks something like this. Okay, it says in big letter, So it says here 3-day notice to pay rent or quit, right? 这个很大的字在上面。你有3天付房租，不付的话就搬走。Okay, owner, right? Landlord. 房客，所有的房客在上面。Okay, 他没有付你房租，从哪一天到哪一天，多少钱？ Okay, 2个月的话都付上去。Okay, 你不可以收他 late fee， 其他的费用只有房租。You could only state the rent that is due, no late fees, no other fees. Okay, only the rent on here. And then the premise, the address. Okay, 地址在哪里？怎么付你钱？ How do they pay you? Okay, and then proof of service. How did you give them the notice? By hand, you mail it, you post it, and then served by who? 谁给他这个宣布？哎，这个是怎么样给他的？哎，手给他的，还是你贴了在门口，还是你寄给他？哎，这边呢是什么地点？你可以付你房租，这个呢房子的地址。Okay. If you guys feel uncomfortable doing this, right, just hire a lawyer. Right now, the lawyer is close to $1,000. Okay, they could do all this for you. But sometimes you do this first part, and you give this notice to the lawyer. Okay, they may just pay you, or they just move out. You don't know, right? Just do this part yourself first, save yourself some money. And if they don't do anything, then you go to the next step. The next step requires a lawyer, okay? It's called an unlawful detainer. 第二步就是这个名称 unlawful detainer. It is a court action requiring court appearance which assert the charges against the tenant. If the tenant does not answer in 5 days, the next step is to writ of possession. This is the third step. Okay, this is second step. Okay, this is first step. 第一步就给他一个宣布，第二步就通过法庭了。Okay, 第三步就是通过法庭。So let's say they don't know, and 5 days lapse. Okay, 可能他怕 ，right？ 他没有动静，5天之后，你可以跳到第三步了。OK， 最好是这样子。If within 5 days they answer the court and say, "Okay, we'll see you in court 30 days," you have to schedule a court date. Okay, they will drag out another 30 days. 最好到5天之内，他任何东西不做，你都可以跳到第三步了。如果他5天之内，他告诉法庭，他又上庭 ，OK， 这个要等30天，你又安排时间嘛，到法庭 ，OK， 大部分都是30天之内 ，OK。Let's say they skip this 30 days, right? I mean the 5 days. You go to step 3. It's a court order directing the sheriff to remove the tenant and his possession within 5 days. Okay, so this is quick. So 3 days, let's say you start on Monday, right? Don't do it over the weekend, right? Monday, and then you have 5 days, and another 5 days. Total 13 days. That's the quickest you could get someone out. Okay, but typically, I'm talking about 30 days, double the time. Okay, you're not gonna get a sheriff's out, right? Not the same day, right? So everything you add 2 days to it, so you'd be lucky if you could get it 30 days, right? But precisely, if we time everything out, 13 days. Okay，最快的，right？一个连着一个的话，right？13天赶它走。OK，大部分的 average 就是30天了。OK，所以没有怎么好，一个连着一个都怎么顺利。One second, okay. Hello. Hey, are you here? Yeah, I'm up here. Yeah, my class is not ending yet. We end at about yeah. We ended at maybe 12:05. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Call me when you're here. Okay. Thanks. Bye. Bye. No, I'm just gonna come down. Yeah. Bye. Sorry for interruption. Okay, let me see how much more we have to go. We have about 10 more slides. Okay, we could brush it through. Okay, so the quickest we could do is 13 days. Okay, 最快我们13天。Okay, 平均数 on the average, we do 30 days is out. Okay, if it doesn't go to court, if it goes to court, that's 30 days. Okay, so they'll drag out to 45 days. 因为他上法庭的话 ，OK， 你要拖到45天了 ，OK， 最少。So typically, if they go to court, 60 days. OK， 如果他去上庭的话，大概是有2个月了，因为你要等待上庭的时间 ，OK。Alright, surrender or abandonment. If they give up, right, that means you just take it back. But before you do, right, you have to give a notice of belief in abandonment. Terminates at least 15 to 18 days. Usually I use 18 days. And serve that notice. Okay, you put on the door, put on the garage door, put on the front door. Right. You say we believe we abandoned this place, right? So after that date, you come back and they're still not there. Okay, then you could take the unit back. Okay， 如果你怀疑他放弃，你要贴这个讯布纸在他前门跟车库门 ，OK？ 你讲我们概念你就是放弃了 ，OK？ 15天、18天回来的话 ，right？ 他还没有动静的话，你就可以收房了。Okay, why 15 days? Why 18 days? The tenant could say, "Hey, I went on vacation for 2 weeks or for 3 weeks. I didn't abandon it. Okay, I'm just emptying out my place to get a new set of furniture. Who knows, right? So you have to give them that time." Okay, 房客可以讲，我去度假啊，我没有放弃啊，right? Alright, breach of condition. A violation of any condition of the lease. Breach in any condition may terminate the entire agreement. Both the lessee and the lessor must understand all contractual conditions. OK， 如果一方犯规的话 ，right， 可以赶他走的。OK， destruction of the premise, right? Major changes generally terminate a lease, right? So if it's fire or earthquake, okay, no more property. Okay, your houses cannot live in there. So you don't have a lease. It doesn't make sense, right? 你的房子火烧还是地震垮了在里面 ，OK？ 没房子 怎么租人呢？所以谁就结束了。Okay, special purpose lease. 特殊的租约了。Sell lease back is for tax purposes. Lease option to buy. Ground lease is leasing the land. Graduate lease, it goes up every year. Okay. Gross lease, it covers everything. Net lease, triple net. Okay, the tenants still have to pay for taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Percentage lease is for retail store. They go by the sales. Okay, these are all specialty lease. Okay, 特殊的就是它可以卖给你，然后回租回来。OK， 它省什么？省税嘛，right？ 这方面。还有它先租后买这个选择。Ground lease 就是只有租这个地皮，大部分都是50年到99年了。OK。Graduate lease 是每一年增加的房租。OK。Gross lease 这是全包的。OK。一个费用全包，还是它的 net lease。OK。你有房客还有付房地产税、保险跟保养。OK。还有另外一种是 percentage lease， 1%比例，看你买卖这个额度，他就收你多少的租金。有时候你这个卖不掉东西，你的房租就小一点等等。Okay，so this is special lease. Other lease property issues. Consumer price index, right? 3%. 经济膨胀的话，它每年上亿的话，它都增高3%。Okay? So this is consumer price index. CPI. Escalator cost, right? It looks like a staircase, right? So the lease payment goes up every 3%. Okay, 它每年增加3%，这是经济膨胀这个 commercial。Okay, 有些住宅也是这样子。Okay, license. Okay, what do you mean by that? Business license, or they call liquor license, or other license. Okay, 其他的牌照。Okay， 这个酒牌啊，来等等，买烟的，买什么的。Okay，property management license required, right? Okay， 你管理房子也是要 license 的。Okay，you better know rent control, right? 它有控制房租的地点，你要知道。Okay, always write it down, right? The management contract, how do you manage, right? For what percentage? Okay, 你管理房子的话，最好你有个协议。Okay. And then on the test, right, you have to memorize, right? Building with 16 units or more, okay? Greater than or equal to 16 units. Okay. You have to have a on-site manager. 16个单位以上的话，你必须要有个经理在场 ，OK， 去管住这个公寓。Okay, so you lose one unit, right? You let him live in one of the smaller units. Alright, minimum wage and hour law. Okay, make sure that you comply. Right, 这个法律，这个都是你有这个 management， 你的 worker， 你的员工要照这个法律去付款了。Okay, make sure you're within the law. Okay, so we're gonna end today's lesson. So we did chapter 5 and chapter 6. Okay. Next week we're gonna do chapter 7 and 8. Alright. So same time, Saturday. Okay, 9 to 12. Alright, and you could text me with questions and stuff like that. Okay. Alright, so everybody, I don't know how they're gonna open up the businesses, okay, for the next week or so, but our office is still closed, okay. Any student who needs to take the test, call me. You could only take it Saturdays from 9 to 12, okay. While I am broadcasting, you are in another room, so you could take your test, okay. So 我们 Okay, so we'll see you guys next week. Okay， 我们今天做这样子5跟6，上个礼拜我们这样子7跟8。OK， 如果有什么问题的话 ，OK， 打电话给我。如果你想考试的话，学校考试的话，只有星期六9点到12点。OK， 你打电话给我安排，我在办公外面播放，你在里面那个房子去考试，可以的，我们可以安排的 ，OK。所以打电话给我，如果有这个要求的话，好 ，OK，see you next week. I'll sign off. So stay home, stay fit, stay healthy. What was that? Fix your mic.